Jay Severin is online and on demand. Hear Jay afternoons 3 to 7 on Boston's Talk Evolution 96.9 WTKK.
It's happening in Maryland, Connecticut, Ohio, Missouri, and more. Local conservative groups, often from the anti-tax Tea Party movement, are crashing lawmakers' public appearances and making headlines for it. Today's protests appear to be from fairly small numbers of people, whipped up by the conservative media.
We're talking about a bunch of things, but the first thing is the Obama healthcare, yet again, is yielding a horror every day. And one of them today is rhetorical, and that is that all of the media are showing themselves as the baboons they are, and saying that we are disrupting. People who don't want their parents told to go die are disrupting. Can you imagine the gall that we pay for all of this, and that we elect these people, they work for us, and we show up somewhere, we take the trouble to show up and ask them questions about something awful that they've done or that they're doing, and it's called a disruption? I would remind you again that Acorn is being investigated by the Congress, which is astonishing considering it's a Democrat Congress. But Acorn is being investigated as a criminal enterprise. They're using the RICO laws, the laws they used to go after the mafia, to go after Acorn. When Acorn protests, it's a good thing, according to the media. You know, one of their last big protests, they went to the homes of people who are executives in companies that Acorn has decided to target. And by the way, the people who founded Acorn own banks, and they send Acorn people out to protest their competitors. They have driven a couple of banks out of business, and the Acorn founders owned banks. Did you know that? And the last Acorn big protest was they went to the homes, the suburban homes of people who work for companies they don't like, and screamed obscenities across the lawn at people in their homes and at their children, made their children cry, and went to their children's schools and picketed and yelled obscenities at their children, at their children's schools. And all of this was what? Oh, this was wonderful. It was Vox Populi, the voice of the people. Isn't it wonderful? Acorn, community organizers. And now what's happening? Now the community is organizing in a different way against the values of Acorn and Obama. And now all of a sudden, guess what? Now community organizing is bad. It was a good thing. Now it's a bad thing. Disrupt. Here's one of the facts of the day with healthcare. When Medicare started in 1970, the government bureaucrats assured us that the costs of Medicare would never exceed, in total cost, would never exceed $3 billion, with a B. We were assured by government Medicare would never exceed a total cost of $3 billion. In the first 9 months of this year, we taxpayers will pay for Medicare $314 billion. Again, government assured, what's this going to cost us? Government, $3 billion tops. And this year, in the first 9 months of the year, it's $314 billion, and it goes up 10% a year on the principal amount. And the pesky public opinion, 71% of voters believe the president's policies have already caused our children and someday grandchildren to carry horrific burdens of a deficit. And even the Republicans are starting to speak up. Senator Grassley today from Iowa said, he essentially repeated James Lewis's question. Would Teddy Kennedy be alive today if he lived under Barack Obama's health care? And again, don't forget the White House enemies list. For all you liberals who were upset when Richard Nixon had an enemies list in the White House, you still go to cocktail parties in Cambridge and say, Nixon, what a pig. Can you imagine he actually had an enemies list? right there in the White House, a list of people he didn't like, an enemies list. And Bush, Bush, what a pig. Can you believe he laid on a domestic surveillance program? Of course, it was never domestic surveillance. It had to be a terrorist from outside the country calling in or a terrorist inside the country calling out. So for preventing terrorism or trying to, Bush was a big pig, right? But now Barack Obama uses your tax money to establish a website and asks us to spy on each other, turn in people who are spreading opposite opinions about Obamacare, and you turn them into the White House. I turned myself in yesterday morning at flagwhitehouse.gov, and you can go to whitehouse.gov and see the invitation to turn people in. And I say to you, join me. You are Spartacus. I am Spartacus. If it helps, I am ludicrous. I'll be anybody, but turn in each other. Turn in your mother and father. Turn in your kids. Turn in me, please. Turn yourselves in. You will be proud to be on this list. We are all Spartacus. Oh, and cash for flunkers. Did you know that the original American plan for cash for flunkers was built on the German model? It's in the congressional record. They said, well, Obama wanted to do what the Germans do. So this plan was modeled after the German plan. They did this first. Deutschmarks for Clunkers. Okay, so they did it first. We modeled ours after theirs. There was just one tiny difference. And that is when Germany did it, they said, you must buy a German car. And that helped Germany a lot, duh. But ours, so far, 4/5, 80% of all the new cars purchased under Cash for Clunkers are foreign cars. Rick from Cell, thanks for your patience. Welcome.
Hey, Jay, how are you today?
I'm well today, Rick.
Good. Listen, Jay, I just wanted to say that when liberals were protesting badly about being called unpatriotic for protesting the war effort, I have to say I was sympathetic to their cause because, like you, I had some misgivings about the war effort. But by the same token, for Nancy Pelosi and her ilk, and the Phoenix and the like, to be calling conservatives or anyone who disagrees with Obama's health plan anti-American or against the president or any such thing is equally, if not more, patently absurd.
Rick, I'm with you on that, and I would just like to pitch in that I think equally, or maybe even more odious, is, again, the notion that they dismiss, the arrogance of dismissing all of us by saying, oh, these are not real people. These are dummies. These are stooges sent to these meetings by the insurance companies. And my question for them, Rick, is, do these people actually believe that? Or are they just being evil people and trying to get the rest of us to believe it? And I think the answer is 50-50. I think Nancy Pelosi, a.k.a. Bella Pelosi, she wants to suck your wallet. I think she's smart enough. I mean, I don't think she's smart, but I think she's smart enough to know that this isn't true. I think she's smart enough to know that this is a real threat. These are real people. When I look at these protesters, when I look at the video of these town meetings, you know what I see? I see grandparents who are healthy and whose greatest joy in life after working and contributing, and working hard all their lives, their greatest joy is what? Their grandchildren. Ask any parent, ask any grandparent. Their greatest joy in life is their grandchildren. And here they are, healthy, thinking that they're going to watch their grandchildren grow up. The greatest joy in their lives, their greatest ambition now in their lives is to live another year, 2, 5, 10, 15, to see their grandchildren, their precious grandchildren grow up. And here they're looking at an arrogant bastard who is telling them that they have to go die at the age of 58 or 60 or 62 if something is wrong with them. Not that Not that they won't be given something, they won't be allowed to buy it. They won't be allowed to go to a doctor to get a knee replacement, a hip replacement, heart surgery, none of it. Go die is the Obama healthcare plan. And when I look into the faces of these people protesting, these are not stooges. These are not phonies. These are people seeing the end. And they're saying in real life terms, keep your hands off my life.